Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I have been thinking about doing a video like this for a while, and I've just been putting my ideas together, and I finally feel like I have enough good ideas to share with you guys. So as you can tell by the title, this video is about staying happy while you're trying to conceive, and especially if you're dealing with infertility for an extended period of time. It really wears on you. I'm sure for those who are trying to conceive who it only takes a couple months, those months are still hard, but you know, when it gets to a point where you have an infertility diagnosis or unexplained infertility and it's been long enough that you know it's going to be harder for you than the average person to get pregnant, then it definitely wears on you emotionally. So there's some things that I've learned along the way. I've been trying for about a year and a half, and you know, the first year was just kind of like, maybe it's not happening because whatever. And then the second year, it's been a lot more like emotional, because when you hit that year mark, at least for me, it's like, okay, this is real, this is not happening right away. So my suggestions are what work for me. If you guys have any other suggestions, I'd love to hear what you guys do down below in the comments. Leave a comment and tell me if you found any things that really help you stay positive and allow you to enjoy life still while dealing with infertility, because it's an all-encompassing thing in a lot of ways. Like, if you're doing some sort of cycle where you're trying, you're usually tracking things for at least half the month. You're paying attention to your symptoms, you're recording things, you're going to doctor's appointments, you're getting labs done. And then when you're not doing all of those things, you're literally waiting. You're like, okay, now I need to wait, you know, to get my period, because I need to like wait, and then we can start a new Clomid cycle, or like whatever medication you're doing. Or, okay, I got my period, now we have to wait however long it's gonna take me to ovulate again. And, you know, for a number of reasons, there's just a lot of waiting. So like for me, I had an ectopic pregnancy, and I got a shot of methotrexate to terminate the pregnancy, cause it can be deadly to the mom. So when you get that shot, you can't try for like a certain number of months. So we've just had to wait. Like since May, we've just been like kind of waiting to get back on track. So sometimes it makes you feel like you don't have a life, like it takes over everything. You planned everything around, well, what if I'm pregnant? What if I'm having a baby in 9 months? Between then and now, what things should I not plan? Should I plan in my life? What commitments should I make? Should I not make? And so it can be really hard. So my first suggestion is to not plan your life too much around getting pregnant, because one, it sets expectations in your own head that, okay, like I'm going to be pregnant by this time, so I'm not going to do this activity then. And so for example, like I'm going to a wedding this weekend, and I thought in my head 6 months ago, I'm like, oh, that'll be really cool. Like hopefully in 6 months I'll be pregnant, and at the wedding, like, you know, I won't be drinking because I'll have a little baby bump, and I'll see like friends and family, and that'll be cool. And that's just not the case. Like I'm not pregnant, and there's no way I'm pregnant right now because we have to wait. It's possible that I'll be pregnant in a couple months, but it's not gonna be this weekend. And so like really letting go of the timing of things is important too, along with like not stopping your life events for potentially being pregnant. Like I also, when we started to try, I had in my head, okay, I wanna have, you know, one kid at this age, and then another kid at this age, and then we can decide if we want a third one at that age, and they'll be this far apart and this and that. And now like that is all out the window, because, you know, if we had gotten pregnant when we first started trying, we would have a 9-month-old now, and like we're still 9 months away from that, you know, a baby being born if we got pregnant right now. So it's just like you have to let go of your timing that you have in your head, if you do have timing in your head. Like some people don't, I guess, but for me, I was like, I really want to be a mom by 30, and I'm 31, and it just didn't happen. So it's okay. I mean, like I've come to terms with it, and it's not really, I think in the long run, that big a deal what age you are when you become a parent. Like I don't really want to be pregnant in my 40s, like because you have less energy and less time with your kids. Like part of the reason why I'm sad I didn't get pregnant is because like you get less time with your kids the older you are, in a way. You never know what will happen in life, but you know, like my grandmother passed away last year, and if we had gotten pregnant, she might have been able to meet our baby. So that's just, you know, stuff like that, and you never know what direction life's gonna go, so you don't want to think of it like every, you know, month we don't get pregnant is one less month we get to spend with our kids, but at the same time, like, you know, that's true. So I guess this is turning kind of negative. These are all the things I've had to work through. Like I don't like pretend to have figured out everything and have all the answers on how to be happy while you're trying to conceive. Like I'm definitely still figuring that out. So like I said, if you have suggestions of things you guys do, please let me know, because I'm always looking for more ways. So anyway, I've had to let go of all like my preconceived notions of I'll be a mom at this age, and you know, at this age our kids will be this old, and blah blah blah. And I feel really okay about that now. Like it's taken a little bit to let go, and now at 31, like I'm trying to like process the fact that maybe like we won't be parents until we're like 33. Maybe I won't get pregnant till I'm 33 and we'll be parents at 34. Like I'm trying to extend my timeline mentally, so when things come up and it takes longer and longer, which again, hopefully it won't, but you just have to mentally prepare for that, then I'm not disappointed, and I can be like, okay, well, you know, that's part of how this whole thing works, and I need to have reasonable expectations. And if I get pregnant sooner and my expectations are exceeded, then great, but at least I'm not being disappointed. So something else that I've been doing, not as much as I'd like to, but it's definitely been helpful. I, first of all, like am somebody who has a lot of anxiety, and on top of that, like trying to conceive causes anxiety. So I'm not someone who, like, I do not like yoga, and I do not like meditation, and like those things just don't work for me. They feel like chores, and they don't really like give me the desired effect. And I've tried yoga a bunch. I haven't tried meditation that much, but I've tried a bunch of like guided meditations where it's like, okay, now focus on your feet. Now feel the energy in your feet going up this way, whatever. Like that just doesn't connect for me, and I've tried it many times. So I was feeling really anxious the other day, and I downloaded the Calm app, C-A-L-M, on my phone, and it's a meditation app because I'm always trying to like meditation even though I don't. And there's a little tab that says anxiety, so I hit that tab, and then you go to, I think it's called Breathe. Let me see. I think it's called Breathe, and it's this little breathing exercise where it like has a little circle, and it goes around the circle, and you're supposed to breathe in until it gets to a certain point, and then hold your breath and then breathe out. And I think it's like breathe in for 4 seconds, hold your breath for 2, and breathe out for 2. No, that's not the right app. And like you just do it as long as, oops. Yeah, it's called Breathe. And you just do it as long as you want. And so like the other morning I was feeling so anxious, and I had like this heavy weight on my chest, and just feeling like really upset and like just not in control of how I was feeling, and just overwhelmed. So I pulled up the app, I tried doing the breathing exercise, I sat down on the floor of my room and I closed my eyes, and I did it for 5 minutes, and I was amazed at how much better I felt afterwards. And I really liked it because it's just breathing, and there's like nice like relaxing sounds of like water flowing in the background or birds or something. It's not like something where there's words or you have to think anything. It's just breathing. So if your mind wanders, then your mind wanders, or if you're just focused on the breath, then you're focused on the breath. But just making your body physically breathe in, hold, and breathe out in that slow pace, for me, like had a huge effect. So I've definitely used it since then. One day when I was driving to work, and the nice thing is it has like a sound as you breathe in, and then it changes, and then it changes again, so you don't have to watch the screen for the little circle. So I was driving to work the other day and I was again feeling anxious, and I just turned it on and I did it for 20 minutes while I was driving and just breathed while I was driving. And obviously I had to keep my eyes open, but it was really helpful. So that's something, like, if you guys have tried meditation and it hasn't really connected for you, I would recommend trying a breathing exercise instead. So another thing I've been trying to do that has been good for me is spend more time outside of my house with other people. And I am not really an extroverted person. I don't have a ton of friends. Like, I have a couple close friends, and some of them don't even live near me, like not even in the same state. So my time hanging out with friends is very minimal. I do a lot of hanging out at home or going out with my husband or doing stuff with family. And family's good, but family can sometimes be stressful in a way that friends aren't. So what I've tried to do is make more of an effort to do things with friends, and keep myself really busy. So I don't like being busy. I like having, like, in 1 month, at least 1 to 2 weekends where I literally have nothing on the calendar that I have to do. It's like, okay, I need to do chores and laundry and stuff, and run errands, but I don't have to be anywhere at a certain time. And I've tried to just push myself to actually, like, do more and fill up my schedule, because I just think that what I've noticed when I stay home and don't do anything, especially on the weekends or like on my days off, if I sleep in and don't get up earlier, it just makes me feel like thrown off the whole day and really negative and depressed. So filling up my schedule, not having a lot of time to just like sit and wallow and worry, has been a good thing for me the past month. Something else that I'd really recommend is focusing on self-care, and whether, you know, that means something different for everyone. Like for me, it means trying to go to the gym more, which I have not been doing that, so I'm not gonna pretend like I have, but it's definitely on my list. But I have been like eating really healthy, and I went and got a facial a couple weeks ago, which was really nice. Like I haven't treated myself to something like that in a while, and I went out and I bought a couple new like pieces of clothing and stuff like that. So I mean, whatever like makes you happy and relaxed, and I wish I could do that stuff every single week, but I just can't afford to. But like anything, whatever makes you happy that you can afford, then treat yourself to that and don't feel guilty about it. Like I went and got a facial and it was expensive, and I'm like, oh, I'd love to do that all the time. And then I was at Target and they had these like $2 little like face masks, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'll get a bunch of those, and every single weekend I'll like do a little face treatment and do a face mask and do something just nice for myself. So doing little nice things for yourself definitely, you know, helps, I think. So my last suggestion is something that I've been like trying to work on as well, and that is be a little more proactive in my treatment. And so like when I went to see my OBGYN to tell her I hadn't gotten a period in like 3-4 months, and you know, what do I want to try to conceive, but like what do we need to do, she told me you need to wait a little longer, and you know, just here's some Provera that it should restart your cycle, go home and come back and see me in 6 months. So I did that, and things just didn't get back to normal, so she sent me for labs. And when I went for those labs, I already started looking into reproductive endocrinologists, because I was just like, it can take a while to get in for one of those appointments, and I just want to be ready for the next step when that happens. Like when, you know, I get all my blood work back, I just want to like move on to the next thing. And then, you know, when I didn't have a good relationship with my reproductive endocrinologist, I looked into a new doctor and I made an appointment with her, and that's coming up in a couple weeks. And I'm just always trying to like keep on top of what's happening next in the treatment cycle, and like what medication I'm taking and everything, and just follow up with my doctor and try to be like diligent about finding out what's next, and not just like letting too much time go by without like moving in a direction. So I don't know if that really made sense, but like don't just sit and wait around for things to like get better or see if they'll happen. Like especially if you have insurance that will cover your appointments, like just go, you know. At least for me, like if I had known it was going to take this long, I would have been like a little more quick to get going with all the testing and everything than I was. So if you're in doubt, I'd recommend just going. And the worst case scenario, if you don't need to see that doctor or have that appointment, is they tell you you're healthy and you go home. But best case scenario, they find what's going on and they start things, you know, moving along in the right direction and getting you the help that you need. So those are my tips for dealing with the emotional stress of infertility. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you try any of these things that you haven't tried before and you like them, please let me know. I'd love to hear about your experiences with doing these things and if it helped you or not. If you like the video, please give it a big thumbs up, and if you're not already subscribed and you want to see more videos like this and about my infertility journey, then please hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you, and thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.